Morning guys, from Leeds, and the reason I am here, well, the main reason anyway, is to take the number 36 bus from here up to Harrogate. It is supposed to be a high-spec bus. Now, I've seen some videos on this and it does look absolutely fantastic. The question I've got, the best bus that I have ridden on so far in the UK is the X43, the Whichway service from Manchester up to Burnley. That was fantastic. Is the 36 going to be as good or even better than that? Well, there's only one way to find out, isn't it? I'm going to be taking it up to Harrogate. It actually goes as far as Ripon, but yeah, I'm getting off at Harrogate today, so I've got to get the train home. So come with me. We'll go and find out, won't we? I'll see you at the bus station.
I seem to be spending half my life in Leeds at the moment. And the main reason, I suppose, is that there are so many great transport connections in and out of the city. And the other reason is accommodation is relatively cheap. So if you've got any other suggestions on trips to do from or to the city, let me know in the comments below. I made my way down to the Leeds City Bus Station, which is located just to the east of the city centre, I guess, but it's still fairly central. And Megabus tend to use stand 1 here, and National Express have their own Dyer Street coach station, which is kind of attached to the bus station's western side. A Flixbus, if you're wondering, they pull up on the side of Crown Point Road, opposite the Ibis Budget, which is about another 5-minute walk southeast of the bus station. I'm entering through the doors off York Street here, and in my opinion, yeah, it's quite smart. Originally opened in 1936, it was rebuilt in 1963 and then again in 1996. And once you're inside, the glass ceiling gives a wonderful spacious feel to it. And you have the security office here on your left, and then the travel centre and the ticketing facilities. Large departure boards are above your head at this point, where you could check on your bus and, most importantly, which stand it's going from. And that's quite useful when you consider, well, I counted 26 stands on the bus station side. You don't want to be wandering up to the far end looking for a bus that's departed from stand 2, do you? The board told me that the number 36 was leaving from stand 23, so yeah, I carried on walking, past the toilets and another travel centre here, and most importantly a Greggs, which predictably was very, very busy, and most of the time whilst I was here. And where isn't there a Greggs these days? Another departure board, a newsagents, and the Dyer Street entrance and exit. Stand 23 is obviously the regular departure point for the number 36, as this handy information board is located right next to it, detailing the route, known as the Moortown line, it says here, and the frequency and departure times of the buses. Right, arrived at stand 23, which is where the 36 service goes from, and according to the departure board, there was one due, but there was nothing on stand, and the frequency is every 10 minutes, so I must have just missed it, and maybe the departure board didn't update very quickly, but yeah, there's definitely nothing here at the moment. But that's fine, because like I said, the frequency is pretty good. So, you turn up to the bus station and you're pretty much guaranteed another 36 service within 10 minutes of your arrival. So, let's see, anyway, the next one, according to the TV screen on the stand itself, is at 9:05. It's 8:56 now, so that's about right, isn't it? And sure enough, right on time, another 36 bus turned up. BF67 GOE, a 7-year-old Volvo B5 TL Right Eclipse Gemini 3, named Peter Melville Smith. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't one of the new fancy electric ones that Transdev Blazefield have started to introduce on the route recently, but it looked pretty smart nevertheless. A £2 maximum fare as a result of the English bus fare cap scheme, still in operation at the time of recording. How many single to Harrogate, please?
Yes, £2.
Thank you very much.
That's it.
Yeah, cheers, mate. I paid my money. I paused for a minute to look at the downstairs seating arrangement, and then I made my way upstairs, of course, where the seating arrangement is laid out in this 2-1 configuration with the large sky roofs dominating the ceiling. And yeah, just like the Whichway bus I mentioned in the intro, it lets lots and lots of light into the top deck, doesn't it? Yeah, first impressions were very smart. Did you notice, by the way, that the seats on the top deck, they're completely different to those on the lower deck? And they certainly looked much more comfortable up here. I initially chose one of the single seats on the right hand side facing forward, and we reversed off stand right on time and started to make our way north through the city centre streets of Leeds. A welcome aboard message was played, and there were many more announcements along the way informing passengers of all the stops, features of the bus, and random other notifications like "You're on the Moortown line," which was my particular favourite, but I do apologise for my very bad attempt at doing a Yorkshire accent there. Out into the suburbs now. It's such a lovely sunny day. I'd have to move over to the left hand side of the bus to stop the sun getting in my eyes. Now, the Harrogate Bus Company, who are a subsidiary of the aforementioned Transdev Blazefield, well, they describe the 36 service as riding redefined on their website, and yeah, they're certainly one of a number of companies transforming bus travel in the UK as we know it. You've got USB sockets and one for each seat, which worked absolutely fine. Great leg room in these airline style seats, and the bus itself was clean and obviously well looked after. Of the seats themselves, they were very comfortable with high enough backs for really plush winged headrests, and yeah, neat touch with the 36 logo here too. And actually, I think the seats are one of the best I've used on a bus, and the 2-1 configuration up here on the top deck, it makes such a difference because the seats themselves, they feel really wide, and you may have also noticed they have retractable armrests in the aisles too. We were well out into the countryside now, and yeah, so the number of times the stop bell was ringing was less frequent. And it's certainly not an express, this bus, or nor does it pretend to be. A journey time between Leeds and Harrogate is just under an hour, and you're heading out of Leeds city centre earlier on. The stop bell was ringing every few hundred yards or so. But yeah, for me, this is all about the bus itself. And yeah, one thing I noticed was the lack of advertising and self-promotion internally. I mean, like, there was absolutely nothing at all. Maybe this bus was a one-off in that respect, but yeah, I would have expected things like maybe a route plan or some other suggested routes, features of the bus like Wi-Fi, and some marketing on the space in between the windows and the roof. And the windows, incidentally, were a mixture of plain glass and ones with an opening at the top. Temperature of the bus was adequate throughout. Well, I did try out the Wi-Fi at this point, and it was excellent. Easily identifiable on your phone, it connected quickly, and YouTube videos played really well. Other social media platforms like X also worked well, and one of the best I've used actually. Coach companies, please take note. And we've just left the village of Harewood now, and to its west is the 18th century Harewood House, used as a filming location for Downton Abbey, did you know? And obviously if you do want to visit by public transport, the number 36 will drop you off right near to the entrance. And our bus follows the A61 all the way really, with little deviation en route. You can tell it's a high frequency bus service from the number of other 36s we pass coming the other way. And as you probably gathered, the front spot had been vacated at this point, so yeah, I decided to take in the rest of the views from the best seat in the house. Enjoy them with me as we begin to descend down towards Harrogate itself. As you can see, we were just coming into Harrogate now, passing the Stray, a park and gardens on our right, before reaching the Prince of Wales roundabout and continuing on into town. And I mean, I only know this because I'd looked on Google Maps at the time. I've never been to Harrogate before, ever. But the fact that I could get here from Leeds in about an hour, travelling through some terrific scenery on the way, for just £2 at the moment, well, what more can you ask for? Yeah, I think I said this in the X43 Which Way bus video, but yeah, some of these vehicles now, they really are dispelling the myth that the journey's some kind of awful, rickety, drafty, uncomfortable old bus. So it's simply just not the case. Companies like Transdev Blazefield really are industry leaders when it comes to all this. I mean, the 36 in its current guise, yeah, it's probably not quite as good as the X43 in my opinion. It just lacks a couple of the Which Way's features, such as tables and cup holders, but yeah, that's only my opinion. I think the new electric buses, as they become more and more prevalent on this route, they could give them the edge from the pictures that I've seen, but do let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget, whether it's the Burnley Bus Company or the Harrogate Bus Company, or the Coastliner over to Whitby, that's another fantastic route I've featured on the channel, and yeah, and others, they all come under the Transdev Blazefield banner, and that says to me, you're going to get a quality experience. As you can see, we were just coming into Harrogate Bus Station now. Incidentally, can somebody tell me what these white structures are on the stands? I was racking my brains as I left my seat and a very empty top deck, descended the stairs to exit the bus. Now, unfortunately, the onboard library here was devoid of books. Unlike when Jeff Marshall rode on this service, well, I guess nobody knew I was coming. Anyway, I thanked the driver, and after disembarking, I just made my way to a lovely quiet spot just up the road, where I took a minute or two to sum up the journey. Right then guys, Harrogate, first time I've been here, and yeah, it looks like another nice place, doesn't it? The weather today is fantastic, and yeah, just arrived here on the 36 service all the way from Leeds. A pretty good bus, I think you'll agree, and I tell you what, that 2-1 seating configuration on the top deck makes a massive difference, doesn't it? Seats were really comfortable. USB provision, Wi-Fi was absolutely great. Is it as good as the X43 Which Way service from Manchester to Burnley? Well, in my opinion, not quite. It's not far off. But yeah, the absence of tables on that particular bus. Anyway, I don't know if any of the other buses have that provision or not. Let me know in the comments below. And the other thing is, I believe that they are just about to introduce electric buses onto this route. In fact, one or two may already be in service. Unfortunately, I didn't get one today. But yeah, like I said, let me know what you think of it. Have you tried the service, or would you like to try it after watching this? Let me know in the comments below. I'm heading back down to Shrewsbury now on the train, so thank you very much for watching. I shall catch you on another adventure soon, I'm sure, and until then guys, as always, cheers for now.